I'm honored this afternoon to be part of this remarkable event that marks the implementation of a collective impact within government stakeholders. Today, we are providing answers to some of the strategies and desired outcomes as outlined in Chapter 3 of the NDP 5, as well as the Harambee Prosperity Plan, pillar on economic advancement, and in particular, the sub-pillar on youth enterprise development. After months of determined efforts, I'm excited to finally, listen very well here, I'm excited to finally launch the 121 rural youth enterprises. Youth, we should now start to move. Ngumbi is here. He said there's money is there. Colleagues at the constituencies, make sure that you make use of this opportunity. I don't want you to use the cell phone only for political whatever, but for economic move. That's what I want to say. From the onset, I would like to thank the Office of the Right Honourable Prime Minister for the support and various consultations we had towards the realization of this development. It is a well-known fact that Namibia, together with the rest of the world, is faced with a global jobs crisis that demands a bold response. To help meet this challenge, the Ministry of Sport, Youth, National Service believes that youth entrepreneurship can be part of the solution to transform unemployed young people into active members of the economy, self-sustaining and contributing significantly to the development of society. Unfortunately, we are aware that many young people from underrepresented and disadvantaged groups, example, women, youth, and unemployed, often face greater challenges in accessing startup financing, often due to lack of collateral and credit history. Clearly, in today and tomorrow's economy, the future of work is increasingly uncertain. In this regard, entrepreneurship can play an important part in facilitating economic development and job creation. While young people often turn to self-employment because they cannot find job elsewhere, entrepreneurship can provide them with valuable skills such as critical thinking, decision-making, leadership, teamwork, and innovation, all of which remain relevant for the rest of their lives. In general, they gain expertise in areas not incorporated in traditional mainstream education, constructing unique careers that resonate outside the typical economic model by pulling in talent from their peers and fostering positive community development. Director of Ceremony, access to finance is necessary, therefore, to create an economic environment that enables companies to grow and prosper. Young people possess many of the characteristics of the modern entrepreneurship that have been identified by leading economists and social scientists that include vision, enthusiasm, passion, flexibility, determination, and resilience. Therefore, increased access of finance for our youth and SME can improve economic conditions by fostering innovation and gross domestic product, GDP growth. Access to finance and capital is also one of the biggest constraints to the stability and growth of many of our existing SME and youth enterprises development in Namibia. Thus, the Harambee Prosperity Plan and the Youth Enterprises Development outline 4 key desired outcomes. The Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service thus was tasked to establish youth-owned enterprises in all 121 constituencies by the year 2020. The single-minded objective in this regard is to stimulate economic activities, especially for young people in rural areas. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to inform you all that the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service is well on target towards the realization of the set goal to establish a 121 rural youth enterprises. Early this year, the Development Bank of Namibia responded positively to the ministry's call towards the capacity building of youth entrepreneurship. DBN thus offered a massive 1 million Namibian dollars for training of over 484 youth or young people from all the 121 constituencies towards youth enterprises establishment. The training that was carried out in conjunction with the University of Namibia equipped the participating youth with better understanding of business principles for enhancement and management of the youth-owned enterprises. Furthermore, DBN also provided further assistance for a consultant, Dr. Haukongo from UNAM, to assist the youth in all 121 constituencies to finalize their business plans. I'm happy to announce that early this year, we registered 121 businesses, entities with BIPA for the youth enterprises. The next step then was to assist the enterprises to develop bankable business plan. And I'm pleased to report that thus far about 60 out of 121 business plans are ready for submission for financing risk. We invest to completing the remainder towards the middle of this month. Therefore, it is worth mentioning that innovation in the financial sector have shown that the entrepreneurial skills are bankable if the right lending mechanism is used. For young people, our experience shows that startup capital combined with a range of non-financial support, including monitoring and some of the most effective and efficient lending mechanisms to open up the potential opportunities of entrepreneurship. Empowering young people to build better lives will have a transformative effect on economic growth, social and community development. Our young people need to be provided with entrepreneurship skills, information, mentoring, and financial support they need in order to become successful entrepreneurs. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, allow me now to recognize and thank the Minister of Finance, Honourable Lesley, and his entire ministry, as well as Cabinet, for prioritizing the plight of our young people. The skill-based lending facility and SME financing strategy programs which you are launching today will greatly assist our young people, especially those that are skilled to create employment for themselves and others through entrepreneurship. We pledge our concerted and coordinated response across relevant actors in public, private, and civil society sector to recognize the value of non-financial support and expand access to capital to young entrepreneurs. Let me also wholeheartedly thank the Executive Director of the Ministry of Sport, Youth, National Service, Ms. Emma Kantema Guamas, and the staff for your commitment and sleepless night towards making this event a reality. It was never easy from the onset, but you were so determined to achieving the set goal. Again, allow me to also thank the constituency councillors and our regional youth officers for their cooperation and assistance in this regard as well. Finally now, despite any challenges that we may face as a nation, we continue to believe that the future of our Namibian youth is very bright and exciting. The world is constantly changing with new opportunities emerging all the time, and the true entrepreneur will emerge. The youth should be rest assured that the government, through the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service, will provide the support and guidance that they need at all the time. Lastly, this is the last one. Let me also appeal to all young people who will benefit from these funding programs to ensure that they utilize the funds for the intended purposes and to pay back their dues, as it will be expected of them. That way, I believe, we will be able to sustain the funds to benefit the current and the future generation. Meaning that if you are given this money, don't go and misuse it. You'll be given this money for a period that you have signed, and then you have to pay it back for your child, for your sister, for your brother, for the next person to come and utilize this money. This is what I want to inform. Now it's a time for young people to work hard. It's a time for young people to sweat. You have entered a life of hard work and sweating. So I wish you all the best. Your government is here to provide this facility. Make use of it, and you are welcome. I now have the singular honor to officially declare the launching of 121 rural youth enterprises, and I thank you.